So they only had Ottawa Indians here?
In this particular spot. I mean, they had all the other Indians in the county, but these were,
he was
for the Ottawas.
Specifically, why the Ottawas?
He had worked with them up in Michigan before they came down. And he had been the superintendent of the Thomas mission in Michigan, and that's just who he'd worked with. He spoke Ottawa best of all of the languages, and so he just about 3 years ago, there was a Meeker reunion here, and 55 Meekers came from all over Canada and America, and we had chairs all set up all along here, and they had a church service, and at a certain point, two of the family members walked over and put a wreath on the stones of Jotham and Elenor, and the friends of ours who were there, who were Ottawa Indians, stood up because they said they'd never have as good a friend again as Meeker had been to them. But he was a wonderful person and a wonderful doctor. He took care of everybody best he could. And all removed Oklahoma by 67, so yeah, he was pretty much lost.
Who else is buried in here, basically?
Lots of Ottawa chiefs. About the 1850s began to convert in enough numbers that you started having the leaders buried here. And so some of the people who are still chiefs of the Ottawas down in Oklahoma have ancestors buried here. The Wind family. Notino is here. Compchaw, who was a medicine man.
So the Ottawas came from Michigan originally?
Mm-hmm. Southern Michigan.
In the
Ohio.
1830 Indian removal?
Mm-hmm. This is, of course, not all the Ottawas. There are still thousands of Ottawas in Canada and the North. I mean, they were moving them in bands. The bands were signing off on their little properties. And so that's that band. There were two bands here in...
But they were Algonquin.
Blanchard. I just remembered the other one finally. They all speak Algonquin, as do all the Potawatomis and Sac and Fox and Chippewa and Ojibwe, which are pretty much the same thing. And yeah, they're all the northern Great Lakes Indians speak Algonquin. So the Indians that were here who were pagan obviously weren't buried here, didn't want to be buried here, or Meeker didn't want them here. Mm-hmm. That one little stone over there that's brown, it's got kind of a rounded top, that's a stone that we know about. Meeker nursed man when he was ill. When he died, he conducted the service and he carved the stone. Mm-hmm. And he was Meeker's first translator, interpreter, until he could speak Ottawa well enough himself. And he was related to Notino, who was one of the chiefs. And Lewis King had been a chief in Michigan.